with the CW shows coming to an end, primarily the superhero shows, Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash, which is the only three shows I really watch on the CW. I really wanted to talk about Supergirl because, like, on YouTube, all I'm seeing is Arrow, Flash, Arrow, Flash. I don't really see that many Supergirl videos, honestly. It's kind of sad because I personally think Supergirl is a great show. So I wanted to give some Supergirl love and really just talk about Supergirl. And in my opinion, how much better the show has got since it jumped shipped from CBS to the CW. Um, I personally think the show has gotten so much better. And really, why has it gotten better, in my opinion? Because I seen the first season on actually CBS. I actually had to adjust my schedule to watch it on CBS because it was so left. It was so left field because I honestly thought the CW was gonna pick it up because you know it sounded like a CW show when watching the trailer, reading it on like news articles and websites. It sounded like a show that CW was gonna jump on board with. So it was kind of weird watching it on CBS because CBS don't have superhero shows. Like, think about it. Anybody, just think about it. CBS superhero, you know, doesn't really go hand in hand. It really doesn't. And if you look at the shows that are on CBS, it kind of just proves the point because I only think they had like one comic book superhero show, and it was Forever Night back in the early '90s. Like I don't even think that was a superhero show. It was a vampire show, one of the early ones, but Supergirl on the CW just didn't fit, and it really showed. It really showed. Like the show struggled, and even though it had good, solid ratings, and it was praised by critics and fans alike on the most front, the show just was struggling, and CBS dropped it after the first season. The CW picked it up, and it's renewed for season three. So, um, but really, let's break it down. Why is the show better on the CW than it was on CBS? In my opinion, the first thing we have to talk about is the fact of the writing is so much better. The writing, the the scripts of the show, just so much better. Every episode was great on Supergirl. I don't think they had a bad episode yet. They probably had like one or two stumbles, but honestly, I think every episode was just rock solid. The 4 night crossover, even though it was a little bit of a disappointment, it was a disappointment. I just think the timing was wrong. I think they should have done it, somewhere later on in the timeline. So, but the writing is just so much better. And second of all, they actually have a Superman. In season one, we just got the whole like, teasing Clark Kent, teasing Superman, the CGIs, the bad CGIs, nonetheless. But you know, we didn't get a Superman, and honestly, I think Superman, even though he doesn't need to be on the show, Superman was a big part of Kara's life. It was a big part of Supergirl's life, and I think not having him on the show physically, I think really hurt the first season. So that's why with season two, we finally got our Superman, and we finally got the actor to play Superman. Now, me as well as everybody, I think in the whole fandom universe, wanted Tom Wellings because on Smallville we never got to see Tom Wellings in the Superman suit. You know, we never did. They were teasing it and teasing it and teasing it, but we never got it. So I think it was just the nostalgic and the fact that we just really wanted to see him in the Superman suit playing Superman. And I think that's why fans just wanted it, and I don't think fans embraced Tyler as much until the episode actually aired. Um, just watching the episode was just, oh my god, he sold the Clark Kent Superman aspect. I mean, if you look at like Christopher Reeves and Dean Cain as Clark Kent Superman, they had this certain style, this charisma, this finesse. It was just something about them that sold the whole innocent farm boy, tripping over everything, stumbling. They it just worked for them, and I think Tyler just really brought out that classic Superman that a lot of the older fans actually missed. Because if you look at Smallville, it was more of for like the newer generation at their time. And if you look at the Superman and like the movies, they kind of went in this more dark and gritty form, but everybody misses the Christopher Reeves version and the Dean Cain version. So, I mean, I think he just really brought it out, and him on screen, Superman and Supergirl always had this relationship on screen as well as in the comic books, and they really sold that brotherly sister, family cousin type thing, and it was just great to watch them on screen, and the episodes were just so much better. On you know, the episodes was just awesome. Like I rewatch them because it was just great seeing them on screen and seeing him portraying Superman and Clark Kent. I think just made the show so much better. Um, the one thing I think why the show is so much better is if you if you look back. I know some of the newer generations, they can't really look back because they weren't really there, or actually they just never really saw the movies. But if you look at the Christopher Reeves films, and if you looked at Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, they had a way of mixing real life issues and real life problems and mixing it into the films and into the actually shows that actually worked. And they use it to their advantage to bring, I guess, a neutrality, like a neutral awareness that it wasn't going on, either or. It was trying to stay on the straight and narrow. Okay, my straight and narrow is a little crooked, but staying on the straight and narrow neutral. And I think the first season of Supergirl didn't have that. It didn't have that that integrating real world issues. And if you really look at season 2, how heavy it it is incorporating those real world issues. It really brings back, the classic Superman comics, as well as the classic, show, and as well as classic, Christopher Reeve films. It brings those real world issues in a way that it educates and it brings awareness, but it's not saying, which side wins. It's giving their own take on it, which is a very simplistic take because, it's a show, but it brings that awareness that's really needed because not everybody watches the news, not everybody reads newspapers anymore, but you know God bless them. I do not know not one person that does not know who Supergirl is, who don't know the show but still know who Supergirl is. So you know, bringing in those real world issues is something that was greatly missed, and I was just so happy when they brought it. Even Arrow and actually embraced it with their episode on gun control. I think they did a great job on it. So it just shows the show like the progression of Supergirl because of the fact that um you know they're learning from their mistakes. Well, the mistakes that that actually CBS did, they're learning from it, and they're learning from the source material. And I think that's one of the other things that the CBS lacked was using the source material, using it to its fullest, or just using it at all. um I know Supergirl doesn't really have memorable villains because her villains are mostly Superman villains, or actually mostly DC villains in actually general. But learning how to use those source materials is something that's very important, and I think season 1 didn't have that, and season 2 really embraced the source material and really embraced those real world issues. And I think that's just mostly why the show just got better. um you know we got better script, um just better everything really. And it really showed. If you really look at the ratings, they're higher than season 1. They're just better because the show's is overall better. And I can't wait for the finale, and I can't wait for season 3 because the show did get renewed for season 3, and I can't wait for the next Fortnite crossover. So as always, guys, What do you think? Do you think Supergirl is better on the CW? Do you think it's worse on CBS? Do you think they should have just never done the show at all? What are your thoughts? And as always, have an awesome day.